Welcome to Peaceful Streaming. So, I had an incredibly stressful day at work, so I thought I would do a little PowerWash simulator before I do my house flipper streams in an attempt to not stress eat because, you know, that's bad. Um, let's see. Guess I will do a little. What am I doing under here? Oh, well, pretty good. Not like perfect. Okay, so let's switch to the long extension. And guess this one. Um, yeah, I guess that's probably the best. Oh, I'm having that problem again where it's not, I'm hitting tab and it's not changing. I'm trying to remember how, it seemed like I fixed it by going and binding the key, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to try it. It seemed like last time it didn't work right away, or oddly enough, it didn't work until I got a message from I don't know, one of the wacky people who populate this game. So, I don't know. Um, I assume it's not just me. But, yeah, it's a little irritating. Okay, I'm going to switch back to green and see how I do. There we go. When the message comes, that was it. Jerry John Belias says, I just want to know where that amazing smell was coming from. I won't forget for as long as I live. So that's really weird, is that, but what if looks like all those cats at the marina have caught a whiff of it too. So, but the problem is, what if, I mean, I could go for like half an hour at least without getting a message. So that's kind of inconvenient. So I hope they fix that. I assume it's not just me. Hey, Barry. Oh, I'm so stressed because of work that I decided I would do this before my house flipper ones, because this game is like a guaranteed blood pressure lower, or at least for me. So, yeah. But other than stressed, I'm not doing badly. I think I finally figured out why I've been sick. I think it's because I transitioned, well, I detoxed off Benadryl per my doctor's orders, but I wasn't taking anything in replacement. So I was, I think, having a lot of symptoms from detoxing to start, and then my allergies are so bad that because I hadn't replaced it, I didn't feel like it was a good idea until I finished detoxing. Then I was getting sick from allergy problems, especially because um, my stepson and his partner and their baby came over on Sunday, so we were like madly cleaning beforehand. I was doing a lot of dusting, and I'm allergic to dust. And I use the Swiffer dust things always, but I still, couldn't get away from dust. So like when I had to throw the Swiffers out, I I tried to wash my hands after each time, but I didn't. So I think that's why I was really sick yesterday. So I think I have finally identified the problems. I believe so. So, and I'm supposed to make an appointment with an allergist. I got a referral. So I haven't gone to one for like 30 years. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people kind of blow allergies off and are like, oh yeah, it's not that big a deal. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, but my family, we get really, at least I get really sick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it because I did 4 COVID tests. They were negative. Um, I don't normally get really sick in the summer because, like who does? But so I couldn't really figure out what the problem was. And so I did take a Benadryl last night to see if it helped, and I felt better today. So my husband was out today and he got me Claritin, which is what my doctor recommended I replace the Benadryl with. And so I guess Benadryl is actually pretty nasty. So, I mean, she was telling me, it can cause dementia, and I was like, I haven't seen any signs of that, but definitely not something I want. So, but she's like incredibly stern. So, I have so much fun, um, not giving her grief, but she had like two medical, like it looked like trainees in the office with us, and I was just, you know, I was just being my, i- i- I'm, occasional irreverent self, and she just was like, she just had that look on her face, like I have just do not know what to do with her. So, but I had my MRI, and I think I mentioned this last night. So I had my every 2 year MRI, and there is no change, which with MS is a good thing, unless by any slight chance you get um, a reduction in size. That's a better thing. I actually got that one time, like 4 years ago, I think, and but so no change is a good thing, and it means the medicine's working. So, but I mean, I've been taking it for 22 years, so yeah. But my doctor is like, some doctors are always like, they always think that the new medication is going to be better, and that's not always the case. So um, I try not to fall into that thinking. I mean, my thinking is, listen, this stuff is working. It's been working for years, and she tried to get me. So I switched to, so this I have to do with an injection, which is not fun. And it's, some of them have like really short needles, and it's just like so not a big deal. Well, this one doesn't. It's intramuscular, and let's just say it's a really long needle. And after 22 years, it's like it like gets more painful. So, which I won't get into because I know a lot of people are squeamish. I'm actually squeamish. But so I started taking and some oral interferon beta or whatever it was a few years ago. I gained 20 pounds in 1 year. So I was like, yeah, this isn't really working for me. And but my doctor was trying to I was like, listen, I just want to go back to my old medicine. It worked for years. She was trying to persuade me that wasn't a good idea, and I was like, look at my MRIs. I have had no new damage on that medicine. I've had no new damage in years. And she started going back, every 2 years, and looking at the results. And then she just looked at me because I don't know, maybe she wasn't used to people looking at their results, but they do a pretty good job in the reports. It's fairly clear. And she was like, "Well, you're right." And I was like, yeah. So, it's been working for me. I don't see any point in, you know, because there's limited medications you can do for MS, and one of them I'm not able to take. I took I tried another one, and I got just horrible headaches, like just blinding headaches. So that one didn't work. And then there was the other one, which which made me gain weight. So, you know, it's that's when I was like, listen, I tried. Okay, I tried the new medications. They're just not working for me for one reason or another. So, you know, this one's tried and true. And she was like, yeah, but remember in 2013, you got that cluster of symptoms that you had for a year. And I was like, yeah, but can't old lesions sometimes cause that? And she said, well, yes, that's true. I was like, yep, see, doc, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm an informed patient. So, you know, but she tried to get me to do a study one time, probably when I was having trouble finding some medicine that was working before I told her I just want to go back on the old one. And I looked at the list of symptoms. It was, first of all, there were like page after page after page to to fill out for this study, which is fine. I'm sure that's normal. But then I looked at the symptoms, the potential symptoms, because this was a leukemia medicine that was being used, potentially used off label for MS. And so I looked at the symptoms. There were literally like 3 columns of symptoms, 10 symptoms in each column. And they weren't just like, there were some really horrible symptoms or side effects. I don't mean symptoms, I mean side effects. I get those mixed up a lot. But the side effects were horrible. Not all of them, but a lot of them were just absolutely horrible. And I was like, yeah, if I had leukemia, I might be willing to, to put up with these symptoms, but no, not when there's something I can take that I know is I probably just said symptoms again. Something that I know is working and the side effects are pretty minimal. It's just, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. So, yeah. But my doctor she's just so stern. And I think I just drive her nuts. But I figure I'm trying to keep her, trying to like appeal to her sense of humor, which apparently another doctor told me she does have somewhere in there. So, but I think she thinks of me as the problem child because she wants to see me every 3 months. And I was like, no, you don't want to see me every 3 months. And she was like, oh, yes, I do. And I was like, no, seriously. Really? Not much happens in 3 months. I mean, like if something happens, if I all of a sudden get a new cluster of symptoms, of course I'm going to contact her. But in the meantime, it's like, especially if the appointment is sometime around when she's doing her rounds in the hospital, I can end up waiting an hour and a half. And like, I don't have that kind of time. So, so it's just tedious for me to go in for her to do the tests, test my strength, my reactions, all that stuff. And last time, like one of my knees didn't do what it was supposed to do, or did do what it wasn't supposed to do, or something like that. And she was all concerned, and I was like, okay. And then she was looking back at the past visits. She's like, well, last time it was fine. The time before, the same thing happened. And I was like, yeah, see, it's just a recurring symptom. It's not a new one. So it's not a big deal. And she looked at me. I'm sure she's thinking, I am the doctor, right? Like you're actually not the doctor. So, yeah, I think she just, but I mean, she just cracks me up so much because she's so serious. And so I think that just makes me wanna, like try to get her to laugh. And she did have like a half smile at my last visit a couple of times. I think she was trying not to, but so I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine, really. I'm really fine. Um, and then my husband went, like a week or so later, my husband went, he sees the same people for his sleep apnea. And so he talked to her, his physician's assistant or nurse practitioner. I'm afraid I don't remember what her actual um, like um, qualifications are, but she said, "Yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing Deborah." And my husband was like, "Wait a minute, you guys just saw her?" And she was like, "Yeah, no, we want to see her again after her tests." And I was like, when he told me, I'm like, "Oh my god!" I mean, this is like, you would think I'd been having like a lot of problems or something. I haven't been. I've had some, once in a while you get weird stuff. So like I told her, well, yeah, when I saw the doctor, I said, yeah, the sole of my foot has been a little numb and I've had some kind of weird like electrical shock sensations in that foot, but it's really been very intermittent and blah 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 blah. And so she just like jumps on that stuff right away though. So, which is fine. I mean, my first neurologist was like, yeah, okay, so you've got your medicine. Just let me know if, anything comes up. And then when we moved here and I started with her, I had like a 3-ring binder. She did a, uh, what's it called? This, not psychological testing. It's testing to, it's like mental capacity testing. I'm not sure. She said, so to get a baseline in case at some point I started having cognitive problems, they would know, like, okay, well, this is where, this is how she did in 2006. And so compared to that, and I assume they would take old age into account, this is how she's doing now. So this is the difference and blah, blah, blah. So, and then, like wanted to see me even if there was no problem. So I was like, yeah, this is actually makes me feel more confident than my last person because, he was just like very blasé. So it did not inspire confidence. But she's like one of the best neurologists in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I assume she most of the time knows what she's doing. So I think at this point, after, oh my God, how many years? 16 years. I'm probably like I'm a long-term patient, and she's constantly telling me how lucky I am. One time she told me. One time she said like the opposite. I don't remember what she said, but then most of the time she's like, compared to most of my MS patients, you're very, very lucky. And I'm like, hey, I totally agree. I know. I absolutely agree. I feel very lucky. And so, it's very weird sometimes how she then gets this like kind of militant attitude. So anyway, but so she actually enforced the thing about me making an appointment after the tests by not renew. She said to me, well, if I don't renew your medication until you have a visit, you have to have a visit. And I was like, wait, what? She said, I'm only how about I think I'll only renew your medication for 3 months at a time instead of a year at a time. And I was like, that was when I said, wait, you don't want to see me every 3 months? And she was like, yes, I do. So she wanted to see me after my MRI and the blood tests, but I had to delay the MRI because of thinking that I might have COVID. So then I find from the pharmaceutical the company that our insurance company orders the medicine from, that it hadn't been renewed. And I was like, what? So I sent a message saying, hey, so yeah, so I heard that my medication wasn't renewed. And it looks like, on the portal here, it looks like it was declined. And I said, I hope that it's not because you're waiting until I come in for my after testing visit because blah, blah, blah. And I explained I had to postpone the MRI by 2 weeks. And I said, not that I wouldn't mind a couple of weeks off from my medication, but I assume that's not a great idea. So I get a message back like within a very short amount of time, relatively speaking, from her saying, your medicine has been renewed. Your prescription has been renewed. And I was like, yeah. Again, wouldn't have minded a couple of weeks off, but so yeah, she's really she's like really a very tough operator. So I suppose that's probably good. It's not that I don't take it seriously, but I want to have a normal life and as much as possible. Although, yeah, well, it is what it is. I honestly do not remember what it feels like to have energy. I mean, it's been like 22 years. So I vaguely remember the thought of feeling like I have a lot of energy, but I just like that hasn't happened in so long. So it's like, yeah, I just want to have as normal life as I can, and just, I mean, the nice thing is that when I start a new job, I don't have to tell them about the MS because I look completely, and I walk and I move and I seem completely normal. So I generally don't say anything about it until I've been there a while, so that when they do find out, they'll say to themselves, oh, I never would have guessed it didn't have any impact on her performance. So then, I have to make sure that they know I can do a good job first. She is, she is very interesting. The day of the shutdown here in California, where they sent out a notice saying, so as of midnight tonight, you can only go out for absolute essential, either because you have to go to work or because you have to buy I don't know if they even said because you have to buy groceries. I don't remember. But, so that was what, in like March, I guess, maybe end of March, 2020. But so my husband and I went to Trader Joe's, like, okay, well, we can't afford to have food delivered, so let's stock up. And there were just like, I don't know, 6 or 7 registers, and every single one had like at least 6 people waiting in line. And we were in line, and I look over and there's my doctor, and she saw me looking, and she just like gave this really small stiff nod. And I'm like, seriously, I am not about to it's not like I'm gonna leap over all these people and say, oh, by the way, Dr. C, I have a question about my MS. Like, especially because she can like normally not even get me in there. So she's just like, so I guess so used to like being really distant with patients when she sees them. I was just like, you have to remember, Dr. C, you have to remember who you're dealing with here. The person who doesn't actually want to see you, unless she literally last time said to me when she walked into the room, well, we really have to drag you in here, don't we? And I was like, what? I said, I was just here, wasn't I? I was totally yanking her chain. I was like, I was seriously just here, wasn't I? And she was like, March 2021. I was like, okay, so that's just a little over a year. And then she just looks at me like, seriously? So that's, like I said, I mean, I'm like, I know she didn't expect me to apologize, but I was like, listen, I'm seriously really busy and I've been stable. So, you know, but she's Israeli and it's just so hysterical because I'm Jewish and there is such a huge difference between Jewish Americans and Israelis. It's just like anyone who tries to anyone who tries to like think that it's apples and apples, I can promise you it's absolutely not. But I mean, because I worked with an Israeli professor in chemistry, and um, I don't know. I know I've met Israelis who are not this serious, but it just so happens that the Israelis I've met in the last few years are uber serious. And I mean, I know some who are not. I've met some who are not, but it was just like the two of these people are just so serious. So my like reaction, even though I'm, most of the time, especially at work, are pretty serious. I'm relatively well. Okay, I'm not really serious, but I'm professional. But it's like my reaction always is to try to make people like that laugh or at least crack a smile. So it's just it's probably just a pathological need or something, but I can't help trying. So like they like both of them just like I think just do not know what to do with me because I'm so deliberately trying to you know goof around, but I can't help it. So yeah, she's fun in a way. I mean, I do have fun with her, kind of. But she is absolutely like if I hope she doesn't have too many patients who need someone who's nurturing because she's not. She's absolutely not. Um, she's just like the sternest teacher you ever had. Like fair, but like really stern. So so she just like you know she like it that just brings out the devil in me because I know she's got a sense of humor. I know she does. And so it's just I mean there was another doctor who actually told me, my pain management doctor, they're in the same, essentially, well, this doctor left pain management, but they're essentially in the same practice. She was like, well, she's actually a lot of fun once you get a few drinks in her. And I was like, see, I knew it. I knew it. I could tell. I could absolutely tell. So that's why am not able to resist giving her the business. So, but I mean, but like seriously, like I said, it's just I cannot 4 times a year. I don't have the time to just wait there. Luckily, last time the appointment was like at 5 o'clock, and she saw me really quickly. It's just the morning appointments suck because she's at the hospital doing rounds, and then so a lot of the time she gets held up. So I was like, oh, this is how I do it from now on. I'm just gonna say I want an appointment at the end of the day. So hopefully that'll facilitate things, but not to mention half the time in the waiting room there's someone who is clearly not doing as well as I am, so I always give up my seat to them. And so it's just like if it's like an hour and a half, I'm standing there. I could be standing there for like an hour at least. So so it's just it can get a little tedious. But as soon as I see someone with a walker, I'm like, yeah, okay. Especially because during COVID, they blocked off like every other seat with a sign saying, please don't sit here. So that was really fun. But yeah, so yeah, it's good news. Like I said, I feel pretty lucky. For someone who has MS, I am pretty lucky. So But what I've been doing recently is starting to do strength training, because I I figure that if I have if like I might end up at some point having like severe muscle fatigue or something, or just severe fatigue and not being able to exercise, and I really want to build the muscle tone up. My father, my biological father, had ALS, and he lived for like 2.5, 3 years longer than they thought he was going to. And he felt that it was because he was, he kept his muscle tone up and muscle bulk and everything. So, I want to make sure that I'm prepared for, that possibility that I will not be able to exercise. So I'm just telling myself all the time, it doesn't matter how tired you are, you need to exercise. So we have a rowing machine, so um, I've started using that, and then once I mean, that's actually really good, all like whole body exercise, but I'm gonna probably work on some other stuff. So yeah, it's a balancing act, and I need to get more sleep because I'm not getting enough for someone with MS, which I have not told my doctor. I guess I probably should, come to think of it. All she'll say is, well, you should be getting more sleep. So yeah, it's not, it's like, yeah, I mean, if I want to be like verbally chastised, verbally have my hand verbally slapped, so to speak, sure, I'll tell her I'm not getting enough sleep. And she'll say, you don't have a young child, so why is this? And then I'll be like, you know what? I really don't have a reason. I mean, that's the kind of thing I say to her, and she's just looking at me like she is supposed to look apologetic, and she's supposed to sound apologetic, and she's not. And I'm just like, that's, I mean, I'm not going to be apologetic for something that only affects me. Like, yeah, no, I know I'm supposed to be getting more sleep. I totally understand. But stuff happens. So but yeah. At least I know there's a sense of humor there underneath. I actually don't deal well with people who have no sense of humor. So then I just don't want to talk to. I don't want to spend time with people with no sense of humor, because it's generally it doesn't. It's not that it rubs me the wrong way. It's just like it's very hard to. I don't know. It's just my conversational style. Just like doesn't do well with that. But so when I'm interviewing, I usually, kind of make a couple jokes, and if there's I can usually see a reaction from at least one person in the panel, but if there's no reaction, I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna work, like not out loud, but just like to myself, I'm like, yeah, I'll finish the interview out, but I can't work with these people, so, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, when my current boss, he has a good sense of humor, and the other people I work with do, to different degrees. But so and he also is a gamer, so we can connect on that level, which definitely helps. So we were at the office, and we started talking about our rigs, our PCs, and what they have. So that always helps. But yeah, I mean, my last boss in chemistry. Well, okay, so it was chemistry was 2 bosses ago. Well, okay, chemistry was 2 departments ago, but she, like me, had an extremely dry sense of humor, and like in the beginning, she's like, okay, so just so you know, I'll let you know when I'm joking so that you can learn when it is. And I'm like, oh no, don't worry. I have an extremely dry sense of humor. I have exactly the same problem. So yeah, don't worry. I will totally get when you're joking. But I can't tell you the number of times I have to say to someone, I'm joking. I know I'm joking, because they'll look like really serious or possibly offended. But and I have like a slightly dark sense of humor too sometimes. So I think that's from my mother. But I think that's one of those things that you just like you either joke about things that are depressing, or I mean, not always, but like sometimes I just have to make jokes about stuff because I just can't always treat serious subjects 100% seriously, because it's just, you know, that's that's just no way to live. Not for me. I'm sure other people feel differently. But yeah, so I have to be careful and make sure that people understand that, you know, I have a strange sense of humor, I guess. I don't know. So what time is it? 5:55. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more minutes and then I'm going to switch over to um house flipper with a bio break in between, a quick bio break. But at least I'm not hyperventilating anymore. This game is wonderful. I swear to God, it's so weird. There's just something about it that is so calming, and I do not know what it is, but it works. If these guys do DLCs, I will absolutely buy every single one, because this is my go-to for when I'm stressed and I start hyperventilating. This and sound meditation, so it's pretty cool. And it's fun. So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen this before, the cats you hear, it's really weird. There's been kind of like a loose storyline, and in the last job before this one, you're in like the desert in between here and where the volcano is. And while you're cleaning this giant hand in the sand, there's just this procession of cats going by during the whole thing. And apparently this is where they ended up. For some reason they got attracted to this area. So anyway, that's why you keep hearing the meowing. And so they're on the rocks, I think, on either side. So when I was in the desert, I was like, where is that cat? Why do I keep hearing a cat? I don't understand. So that's... Oh my God. Is this my ladder? No, that's not my ladder. That's not nice. They put a ladder here, but I can't use it. Okay. I mean, obviously I haven't needed it, but still. So anyway, okay, so I am going to end the stream and then I will start the house flipper one soon. I think I'm, I knew this answer. I think I'm gonna, so I'm gonna do one stream on the coffee house and one stream on the tech millionaire's house. I'm not sure which I'm gonna do first. I'll have to think about it. It's how did I get it? It's on Steam. That I got it through there. It was in early access. Now it's out. But yeah, especially like over a extended period of time last fall, I was under an incredible amount of stress at work. And it was not this job, it was the one before. And so literally every single lunchtime I was playing this just to try to calm myself down, because it was so bad. just because of the situation. And so yeah, it's it's fantastic. I really, I mean, I think part of it is for me, it's always sunny, which I know doesn't, like, to maybe to a lot of people, it doesn't actually do anything. But it's something about the, I don't know, it's something about the mindless work or complete lack of stress, or I have no idea, but it does work. Um, and it's awesome. And I hope they do a mobile version eventually because I would love to have this on the go. Although I guess I could probably also, if they get it on, if they do on Switch, I can do that too. So I would love to have this with me for whenever I get really stressed out. It's literally, along with sound meditation, it's the best ways to calm me down. So yeah. So okay, so I'm gonna end the stream and then I will be back in like 5 minutes. So so Barry, thanks for stopping by, and maybe I'll see you in the next stream. And thanks to everyone watching the VOD. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. And I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.